This is the new 2015 F-150 rear bumper install. We're going to do a little different this time. We're going to show it backwards for two reasons. One, we already did a photo shoot on this. This is the prototype on here. And two, we're going to show you a little bit how to remove the factory bumper. To do a little faster factory bumper removal, you can take some plastic apart, but we don't want to do this because it may have to go back together because you can hurt the plastic on the factory bumper. It won't go back together. You see this one's got lights. You got the lights in there. Have to be wired. This one does not have sensors. We've got little plugs provided if you want to. That's where you put plugs in there if it doesn't have sensors, or that the grommet goes in there, where you do have to put the grommets in the sensors in the grommet. This one here, you can see we put the factory trailer hitch back in. License plate lights are right there. When you put those in, it's best to take a little file and knock around there a little bit just to knock the paint off so it gets a good ground system on there. And those need to be wired in. You can wire them in the same wiring that the factory license plate lights were on. This bumper here is the prototype. As I said, it's got a round hole in it right here. That's where your spare tires rod's going to go in there to let your spare tire down. We are going to put the factory lock, have the factory bumper in it. Like I said, this is the proto, we just haven't done it. This is going to be the pattern right here that is going to be in the back plate, what we call the back plate. And that's where your key lock's going to go. There's going to be, which we got ordered right now, a washer that is going to take up the space to make it fit the same as the factory bumper. That washer is going to go on that key, and then that key is going to go in there, and you just push in and you twist, and that's going to lock it in there, and naturally that piece will be in there. So you'll have your factory lock to be able to be replaced on your new bumper so nobody can steal your spare tire. You can see there's going to be 2 bolts back there on the frame, which I'll show you in a little bit, on each side, and we also got 2 carriage bolts in the drop that help support it down to the receiver hitch, the little piece of plate on the receiver hitch. We're going to go ahead and take this rear bumper off of here now, and we'll show you how this one goes on and how the other one comes off. Here we are, we got the bumper off now. Your chrome bumper is off the truck here, right by the truck, so we can show you how to take that off. Our other one's over here. This piece right here is what is on top of your hitch. Your chrome bumper is going to bolt to here. There's 5 bolts on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's going to be one more right here. This bolt right here, you can get to these up underneath. They're 13 millimeter. You can get to these 4 bolts really easy underneath. This bolt right here is a problem. What we did was we can't hurt this chrome bumper. So we had to get up underneath there. As you see, I got that bolt in this part of the bumper right here. We had to get up underneath there with a pair of pliers and screw it from the back side, the opposite end. If you do not worry about hurting your back bumper, you can actually take this plastic off of this bumper right here, okay? And then once the plastic's gone, you can get to that bolt. You'll need to unplug your wiring before you do that. You got the wiring for the license plate lights, and you got your trailer plug wiring right there, okay? That would be the easiest to take the plastic off because you can't get to it. But we can't hurt it, so we have to undo a plier. When you undo all the 5 bolts on each side, and you're not trying to hurt your chrome, you're going to have to push up from the bottom to remove these little plastic clips that actually snap into this little piece that's on here that secures that thing. There is one reason why I would definitely put a rear bumper on this thing. Once we took this bumper off of this truck, there's your bumper that you got on the back of the truck, okay? Not much to it. It would be highly recommendable to put a new bumper on these trucks. They've really changed things up a little bit. That bumper will be very nice on your truck. I think you saw it in the picture. I think it looked wonderful. To put this bumper on over here, we got our mounting brackets here. They're going to bolt to the outside holes on this thing, okay? And as the carriage bolts that we talked about a while ago, you see right here, these 2 big round holes right here, that's where them carriage bolts are going to go through, and you're going to put that bumper onto there. If you do have sensors, you know, if you don't, you use that we said just a minute ago, you put them plugs in the little rubber grommets. If you do have sensors, we recommend actually to use the factory housing to hold them sensors in. The sensors will stay in better with the factory housings, but you got to have these grommets to put our plugs in. They won't fit in the factory housings on there. The trailer plug's going to snap back in right there. You see your license plate lights are in there, as we said just a minute ago. Lights in there does come without lights at the same time. But again, once you get all your bolts in there, just make sure everything's snugged really, really well. And that is the install on your 2015